Hey yogis, my name is Victoria Gibbs and welcome back to your mat. Today I have a class geared around splits. We're going to do all of the exercises to really open up our hips, open up our hamstrings, and show you how you can slowly progress into your splits. Sounds intimidating, but I promise you, very accessible. I am going to suggest that you grab 2 blocks for this class. I don't have any blocks, so I'm going to use this right here. But take a moment, grab whatever you need, and join me when you're ready. Let's make our way into a downward facing dog. So hands are shoulder width distance apart, knees are hips width distance. So just take a moment, pedal through your feet, rise up onto your tiptoes, let your head and neck hang heavy. If hamstrings are tight, just put a bend in your knees and slowly work to bring your heels down towards your mat. And really feel for rooting down through your palms. You want to close your rib cage and feel for a nice widening through your upper back. So your chest reaches back towards your thighs. Send your breath into the back of your heart, back of your lungs, back of your rib cage. Pull your low belly in as you push the floor away and reach your hips up. Good. Just slowly make your way to the center of your mat. You can walk your feet in, walk your hands back for Padangustasana. So inhale, take a half lift, find a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. So grab your big toe with your thumb and index finger and pull on your big toe. Definitely feeling a nice stretch in the backs of my legs here. If hamstrings are tight, bend your knees. Really want to work to get stomach to thighs and face to shins. So take your time with it and really pull on your big toe. Use that as leverage to deepen the stretch. If your legs are straight, kneecaps are lifted, hips reach up towards the sky, crown of head reaches down towards the floor. Hold for 3, 2. Inhale, take a half lift, find a flat back. Padangustasana. Step on your hands, toes to wrists, and pull your elbows wide to the side. So you're not only feeling a stretch in the backs of your legs, you should feel a stretch in your upper back by your shoulder girdle. So again, if legs are tight, put a bend in your knees. Most important thing is to listen to your body. Do not force anything. Reach the crown of your head down towards your mat. Take one more deep inhale breath. Good. Pyramid pose. So release your hands and separate your feet about 3 feet apart. Left foot is at a 45-degree angle. It's very common to do pyramid pose with open hips. I want you to think about squaring your hips. So pull your right hip back in space. Inhale, take a half lift. And if you need your blocks, this is now a good time to grab them. Place one underneath each hand. I want you to think about keeping a flat back. No blocks, tent up on fingertips and forward fold over your right leg. If you're comfortable, come down onto flat palms. Back of neck is light and long. Keep your kneecaps lifted to protect your hamstrings. Continue to pull your right hip back in space. stomach to thigh, face to shin. Hold and breathe for 3, 2. Revolved pyramid pose. So inhale, take a half lift. Place your left hand outside of your right foot, or if you need your block, place it on your block. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Really root down through your left palm. Not only is this stretching your hamstrings, but you're getting a nice twist in your spine. Continue to pull your right hip back in space for 2. 1. Slowly lower down. Frame your right foot. Step your left leg back into a low lunge. So for low lunge, you want your knee over your ankle. Just take a couple of pulses here, forward and back. Getting a nice stretch in the right hip, nice deep stretch in your left hip flexor. Good. 10-tip on your right fingertips and reach your left arm up and overhead for a nice deep side body stretch. Inhale, come back up to center and switch sides. Reach right arm up and over. Energy through your fingertips. Head and neck hangs heavy. Half split. Shift your weight back. Straighten your right leg. Flex your toes back towards your face. If you need your blocks here, go ahead and use them, perfectly fine. But I want you to think about putting a back bend in your chest. Good. If you're ready, you can slowly forward fold over your right leg and lower down onto your forearms. Woo! Definitely feeling it here. Lift up your right kneecap to protect your hamstring. No tension in your face, no tension in your jaw. Wherever you are, hold for 3, 2. Slowly come back up to center. Come back into your low lunge and just shift your weight forward and back between low lunge and half split. Just get a little mobility here in the hips. Keep your spine flat. Back of neck is light and long. Take one more. Good. Let's make our way into tabletop. Tuck your back toes. Push back into a downward facing dog. So you can scoot your hands down your mat, lengthen your down dog a bit. I don't know if scooch is a word, but I just used it. And let's come into a pyramid pose. So step your left foot forward. Right foot is out at a 45-degree angle. Just take a moment here. Pull your left hip back in space. Content upon fingertips. If you're using your blocks, go ahead and continue to use them. Put a little back bend in your chest. Exhale, forward fold over your left leg. Good. So kneecaps are lifted. Left hip is pulling back in space. Crown of your head is reaching down towards the floor. Find a moment of peace and find a moment of stillness as you take one more deep inhale breath. Revolved pyramid pose. Inhale, take a half lift, keep everything the same. Right hand comes on the outside of your left foot. and you reach your left arm up. So low belly is pulling in, root down through your right palm, pull your left hip back in space. Nice twist in the spine here. Stabilize through your feet, stabilize through your core. For 2. 1, slowly lower down, and let's step it back into a low lunge. So knee over ankle, untuck your back toes, and just sink your hips down towards the floor. Again, try not to let the hips open. Try to keep 2 hips in one line. Good. Pull your low belly up and in, shoulder blades down and back. Let's take a side body bend. 10 tip on your left fingertips. Right arm reaches up and overhead. Nice deep side body stretch. Head and neck hangs heavy. Inhale to come up. Whoop, and switch sides. The perks of filming at home. Never enough space. Close your eyes, take a deep inhale breath as you reach your fingertips out and away. Good, half split. Shift your weight back, keep your right hip over your right knee. Toes flex back, put a little back bend in your chest. You can hold here. If you're more flexible, lower down onto your forearms, stomach to thigh, and face to shin. Slow down your breathing. Head and neck relaxed. For 2. Good. Slowly come back up. Let's make our way into a tabletop. And we'll take a quick child's pose here. So big toes to touch, knees open wide. Walk your hands directly out in front of you. Again, I personally really love an active child's pose. So keep walking your fingertips out. You get a nice stretch in your shoulders, a lengthening through your spine. Good. Slowly come back up to center. Now for the splits. So come back into your half split. Toes flex back towards you. Make sure you have enough space on your mat. Put a little back bend in it. Again, pull your right hip back in space. You really want to try to keep square hips as you slide down into your split. So if your hands are on blocks, keep them on blocks. And just slowly start to slide your foot down your mat. You can hold here. If you're taking it further, you can slide all the way down. Another modification, just so you can kind of find a little bit of comfort and peace in your split, tuck your back toes and sit on a pillow right underneath your right glute. Give you a little bit of extra support as you work through your journey. Good. So you can hold here. Wherever you are, just take 5 deep inhale breaths. Close your eyes. Plug your shoulders down and back. You can lift up your kneecaps. Slowly release. If you're taking it further, you can forward fold. The longer you hold anything, the deeper you will progress. So try to stick with it, embrace the challenge, embrace the discomfort. for 2. 1. Slowly release. If you already have your split, amazing. You can deepen your split by placing your foot on a block. So it's a little bit more intense. You can support yourself with your blocks. Again, you can put a pillow under your right glute. Whatever feels good to you. Over time, hips will reach the floor. Take one more deep inhale. Good. Slowly come out. Again, per usual, one side tends to be tighter than the other. Perfectly fine. Just take a couple of circles in your tabletop. Keep your toes flexed and tucked. Good. Now we have to even out and do the other side. So, listen to your body. Start in your half split. Put a back bend in your chest. Pull your left hip back in space. And just slowly start to slide down your mat. If you need to, tuck your back toes for a little bit of extra support. Again, you can sit on a pillow right underneath that left glute. Super effective. And just take your time with the slide. If you're not in the full split, that is perfectly fine. This is what this class was made for. So listen to your body, honor it, respect it, and just hold wherever you are. Really try to spin your right hip down. It's very common to just do splits with open hips. But instead, you really want to try to square your hips to the best of your ability. If you're taking it further, you can forward fold over your leg. Good. If you want to take it even further, place your foot on a block. This is a little bit higher than a block, but just take your time with it. If you really want to work on that oversplit. Eventually, hips will reach the floor. You'll find a moment of peace and moment of stillness. Breathe for 3. Shoulders down and away from your ears for 2. 1. Slowly come out. Good. And that's a wrap. So if you're working on your splits, open up your hips, open up your hamstrings. Be patient with the process. I'm a former dancer. I've been doing these exercises for years. And every day is different. Some days I can't move. Some days I'm too tight for my own good. So I listen to that. So listen to your body. Take this class again and again. You will notice some shifts in your practice every time you complete it. Have fun with it. Enjoy the journey. Namaste.